Hey everybody, it's Melanie from Hometown Paints, and I wanted to come on here today and remind you about our Merry Makers event tomorrow and show you how to go ahead and get your stuff prepared if you're going to paint along with me tomorrow. So I think one of my buddies is going to post the link to Merry Makers for me. And then I'm going to show you how to go ahead and get prepared. So I hope you're having a good day. Say hello if you come on and chat with me while I'm working. All right, so here we go. So if you have joined the Merry Makers event, you are in a private, or you're in a group with some of my artsy friends. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, thank you. There is a template that you can print out, and you will have to tape it together. Just normal, regular tape, and I have drawn on this one so you can probably see it. But this is like step 3. So you'll have to print that out. You will also have to have some carbon paper. And mine, I have used a lot of times. And it's actually just like 9x12 sheets that I have taped together. You can buy big ones, but I just have the small one. Hey, Elizabeth, good morning. All right, and when we get to that part, you're going to put the shiny side down and trace. But I digress. Here's what we have. I have a 18x18 canvas, and I'm going to show you how to paint this morning, and it'll look like wood. But tomorrow, I'm going to paint on this wood palette, and I was going to show you guys how my husband made this, but he made it yesterday when I was at a paint party, so no videos, but let me tell you what it's made out of. It is made out of 1x3s and 1x4s, I think, if I'm being correct. And it's 20x20. So he said he alternated like a small one and a big one and a small one and a big one. And he just cut them to size and stacked them up or lined them up. And then on the back, this is the smaller size. I don't know if it's a 1x2 or a 1x3, y'all, but I don't know. Take some more boards and cut them. Like, this is 20 inches wide. So he cut these 18 inches. So it will be just a little bit shorter. And it won't go all the way to the edge. And then he just used a nail gun to nail it together. It's not super hard. If you have somebody that can buy the wood for you and cut things out for you, then I think they can make this pretty easily. So let me show you how to trace it. So I'm laying my tracing paper out that I've used 100 times. You can reuse this stuff to death, and it will still pretty much work for you. Get it flat on there. And I'm going to use this tracer that I have used multiple times. I just printed it out on my printer and taped it together so that I know that it looks right, basically. And then I'm going to put it on my board. I'm going to check the edges and make sure it's kind of in the middle of my board. Make sure it's on there right and it's not crooked. Just kind of have to eyeball it and do the best you can. Then I'm going to grab an ink pen. Remember, I have the shiny side down on this carbon paper. Sometimes I mix that up. Don't be like me. Don't mix it up. Grab an ink pen, or I don't know, just some kind of sharp object that you can trace this with, and just start tracing. And ideally, you will grab a different color pen with a different color ink so that you can see where you've already traced. But I did not do that this morning. So here we are. Hopefully I don't miss one. And every once in a while, you can kind of lift the board up and check to see. And this lighting is not right this morning, but you can see it. Like it's there. It's this black leaves it right there on the canvas. So you may already know that. You may be like, yeah, I've done this a million times. I know. But for those of you that don't, I wanted to show you that because tomorrow when I start painting, I'm gonna already have this trace on there. Okay, so I'm not gonna do the whole thing because it's not exciting at all. And I'm not painting this painting either, but I wanted to show you on this painting how the background looks. Like it kind of looks like palette boards, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that on a canvas. So if you have, if you don't have a palette board and you don't have anybody that can be super nice and cut it out for you, then you can get an 18 by 18 canvas. And y'all got paint everywhere. And this that's what this template will fit, an 18 by 18 canvas. I had a paint party last night and I had like my paint containers are full of other paint and I have like 8,000 things of paint over here. All right, so it really kind of depends on what color you want your wood to be. So I think what I'm going to do first is just this brown and some white. And the brown I used was nutmeg, apple barrel nutmeg. And I'm going to get some white out there. And I'm probably going to go ahead and get some of this burnt umber out too. Just because I don't know. I don't know yet. And I'm going to get black. So I hope y'all are having a good day. I hope y'all decide to join us tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to jump right in and get started with the painting and already have it traced out. So if you want to like follow along with me tomorrow, then you should go ahead and get your tracing and pre-work done ahead of time. And I hope you do join us. Okay. So I want my boards to be this direction, up and down. So I'm just going to start with some nutmeg. And I'm just putting it on like my paint strokes long from top to bottom. Whatever direction you want your board to look like it's going, that's the direction that your paint strokes need to be in. And you can dip into those other colors and just throw them in from time to time, and it'll start looking like wood. And then I'll show you in a minute another way that really helps it start to look like wood. So I'm just dipping back and forth. I've got nutmeg. I've got white on there every now and then. I think this needs some more white. It's just kind of up to you. You're picking the colors that you want your boards to look like. And you're just going to fill the whole thing. So how are y'all doing this morning? Joanne's just texted me. There's a sale apparently. I am tired this morning. I got home a little late from that paint party. I had 17 painters last night. So that was fun. I got another paint party tonight. So I'm just busy. All right, so that might be looking kind of crazy to you, but this is how we do it. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it, going back and forth. If I feel like I need some white, then I grab some white. If I feel like it needs to be more brown, I grab the brown. And I'm just making long paint strokes up and down because that's how I want my boards to look. Getting a little cold here in Tennessee again. I heard Rose say earlier that it might snow in Michigan. We are not there yet, but that's exciting. It got up to 70 yesterday, and then today it's like 30 again. You just never know. Tennessee weather is crazy. Crazy. So I'm almost to the other side. There's just varying colors in here. I like the different streaks that are happening. All right. So from here, I'm gonna dry my brush off a little bit, and I'm just using like a 1-inch wide brush because I've got a big canvas and I just wanted to fill it fast. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to draw some lines from like the top to the bottom, and that's supposed to look like the wooden slats. So if you can do that with your flat brush and like turn it so that it makes a skinny line, or you could use a liner brush or like an angled brush. But I'm gonna take black and dip into my black and start from the top and just pull all the way down. So that might be scary to you, but if you just go quickly, it'll work out. And it's okay if the line's a little wavy in places because the boards aren't always perfect. And mine aren't the same size here. They're just like varying sizes. I'm going to go all the way to the top. All right, so looks a little more like, hey Marie, how are you doing? So it looks a little more like a pallet board, hopefully. Something else you can do, where's that other painting at? Something else you can do is get a palette knife. And if you're gonna do my barn quilt tomorrow, that's one of the things that makes it look pretty cool is if you have yourself a palette knife. And if you don't have a palette knife, you can use like an old gift card or something like this, something that has a hard, I don't know, it's hard, something you can scrape with. All right, so I'm gonna dip into the black a little bit on the back of my palette knife, and I'm just gonna like lightly rub it on my canvas. Like I'm just getting a teeny tiny bit on there. Can you see that? That's really, to me, this really makes it start to look like a piece of wood. And it's not hard. It can be a little scary at first. You can like practice on, I don't know, something else, a piece of paper or old canvas or something. If this was scary to you. And there's no like rhyme or reason about it. I'm just trying not to overthink it and just kind of throw some paint down. And if you get a thicker spot, it kind of looks like a knot in the wood. So, you know, don't stress about that. It's okay. You can do your edges and it looks, is that starting to look like wood? Hopefully it is. So I've just got some black paint on the back of my palette knife. And yay, thank you, Rose. It's super easy, like super easy. If you just don't stress about it too much. And honestly, if this is what you're doing, pretty much this whole middle part is going to have a barn quilt on it anyways. So yeah, don't worry about it. So yeah, I'm just doing this with straight black right now. You could take, this is a big canvas. I'm going to do it with one of the darker browns here in a minute and maybe some white. Just kind of wiggle your hand around. I think the quicker you do it, the better it is. Because you don't overthink it. You just kind of throw in stuff down and it ends up looking a little more realistic. Let's see. I will dip into some of that darker brown and add some of that. So you just kind of go all around your canvas and add. You could even take white and add white. Yeah. All right, I'm going to show you one more thing. If this, like if you do this and it's too dark and you want to whitewash it, I'm going to show you how to do that too. And I need to dry it first. I'm using this handy dandy dryer. It's called a heated craft tool, and it's kind of like a mix between a hair dryer and a heat gun, and it's pretty awesome. And I do have the link for it in my Amazon store on my website. So if you're like, I need one of those, it's on my website. My affiliate link. So on the board, I'm going to paint on the board tomorrow, not the canvas. And I have not stained that wood or done anything to it. My husband just cut it out, just cut it up from Lowe's or whatever and nailed it together. So you could stain yours, but you don't have to. Trying to get this really dry, which is like exciting, right? You're watching paint dry. So exciting. Okay, so I'll just do this one side. If you do this and you're like, well, that's really too dark and it's pulling attention from what I really want to be, but I want it to look like wood. So what do? All right, so you can calm it down if you just whitewash it. So I whitewash wood all the time, and you can do the same thing with this. So I'm using that big brush, and I'm just dipping into my white acrylic paint, and that's still wet, so it's probably gonna dry. And get some water and white paint and just lightly drag it over. And that's going to thin your paint out so much that looks really white. It's going to thin your paint out so much that it's going to give you a whitewash look. It's just like a barely white coverage. And it's hard to see on this camera. But I promise you, as long as you have enough water in there, it makes it, you'll still be able to see all this cool stuff that we did in the background. You'll be able to see it through the white paint. And it just kind of calms everything down. And then when you put your template on top and you paint all those fun colors that you're going to paint with tomorrow, it'll stand out a little more. But if you like the brown look that we just did here, then feel free to do that. I did get these 18 by 18 canvases at Jerry's Artorama. I couldn't find them at Michael's. I didn't check Hobby Lobby. All right, so I should have dried this some more, but that's okay because there's still black paint everywhere. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea. Let's see if you can see that a little better. Thanks, Marie. It's pretty easy to do. If you do this and you want the whitewash, dry it more than I did. Get your brush in a little water and just water and white paint, and then dry brush it on. And when this dries, it's going to look like a whitewashed board. Not exactly, but you know, it's going to look way more like it than any other kind of paint technique I can show you. And if you are not into, you know, yours looking like it's on a board, you don't have to do this either. You can just paint it whatever color you want to paint it. Because I have painted these before, and I've done like a gray background. You just want to do something neutral probably if you're going to do the same colors that I'm doing tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm using white and black. I think I forgot to put white on the list, but I'm hoping you have some white paint around. White and black, and then red, and I think it's just like a true red. It's all deco art paint or folk art. And there's a green that I put on there that's like a light, it's called succulent or something like that. Thank you, Elizabeth. Y'all are the best. All right, so I hope that helps you guys and that you'll be ready for tomorrow. I'm very excited for everything that we're going to get to do tomorrow. And I think that's it. I hope that helps you. And if you have any questions, let me know. You can follow me at Hometown Paints. And you can message me there or just comment on this and I'll get back to you if you have any more questions or if you need links or anything like that. But get ready for tomorrow. Get your paints out. Get your computers all charged up. Get your phones all charged up. And let's get ready and have some fun tomorrow. I will see y'all then. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. Bye, y'all.